The DC Universe is at war once again, and it's up to you to save it. Check out the affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I'm going to go on a limb. I'm just going to go on a limb, and I'm going to guess that every single one of you out there has at least known one person who has gotten pregnant, got knocked up, right? And I'm pretty sure that that you've heard quite a bit growing up that women who are pregnant should not drink and should not smoke. That it's not healthy for the infant if they do this, right? That seems to be the general consensus. You figure something like that, which just seems like a straightforward answer, like a straightforward kind of common sense thing, would never be called into question. Except it is. It's been called into question a couple times now. Just recently, you had a situation in New York City where they were being told, like bartenders were being told they couldn't tell pregnant women not to drink or couldn't refuse to serve them alcohol. And what you're hearing now out of Britain is that British experts have warned that telling expectant mothers not to drink is actually considered sexist, and it causes needless anxiety. It forces women into getting abortions. This is a world we live in, folks. This is a world we live in. We're telling women who are expecting, you may not want to drink. I'm just saying, is now considered sexist. This is as bad as the microaggression report that states that if you don't look somebody in the eye when you pass by them on the street, that's racist. This is the world we live in. This is how bad it is. Now, what it says here is that multiple health and reproductive nonprofits and researchers have come out against alarmist official British government guidelines that advise expectant mothers not to drink any alcohol. They say that the advice not to drink any alcohol isn't backed by science, and that it stigmatizes women and excludes them from society. Okay, listen, I'm pretty sure we all know that fetal alcohol syndrome is a thing, right? Women who drink heavily while pregnant can result in the baby being born effectively drunk and having that cause a lot of problems with that child growing up. And that child had no say in any of it. That child had absolutely no say in any of it whatsoever, because the general assumption is that the mother, the one carrying it to term, would at least be responsible enough to put their own needs aside for a quick drink, or a smoke, or a hit, or a toke, or a light bulb full of meth, and not engage in that while they're getting ready to have the child. And then, if they are breastfeeding, to continue doing that. But these people are coming out and they're attacking it as being sexist, misogynistic, and it forces women to get abortions and it excludes them from society. Isn't that is the most asinine goddamn thing I have heard of. Now, look, when it comes to light drinking, a glass of wine or a beer or something like that, it's debatable on how much it's going to impact the fetus. But this is also a situation where you got to kind of sit there and go, well, hold on here. Like, hold it. Ein Minuten bitte. You are responsible for that life in your womb. You should take the proper precautions to make sure that you don't fuck it up before it can come out. At least that. But that's now considered sexist. That's now considered wrong. That's now considered bad to make those claims. I remember when my mother was pregnant with my sister, and I was like 8, 9, somewhere in there. And I remember we were camping and my mom had like a glass of wine. Oh, I went off on her about that. I guilted the fuck out of my mom about that. She never did it again. She felt bad. And she even said it was one of those moments in time where it was like, she's like, I just needed a drink. And I understand that. As an adult now, I understand that. There are times you want a drink. There are times you want to smoke a little bit of pot. There are times you want to do things that your adult body can handle. But when you're a fetus, when you're a child in a womb, you have no control. And it's up to the maternal instincts of the mother to not put that baby in harm's way. Secondhand smoke, excessive drinking, so on and so forth. But to make a comment about that or to advocate for that is considered sexist. To tell women not to drink if they're at bars, if they're pregnant, is sexist. Like, I don't know any woman out there though that would look at this as being a good thing. Most women, I think, no. But this isn't about that. This isn't about what's actually good for the baby. This is about fighting against the patriarchy. This is about fighting against society, a man-controlled world, and trying to use this as a way to gain the upper hand. So to put the well-being of a fetus up against the patriarchy is considered a win for feminists and these kind of odd duck activists. But it does say that Dr. Ellie Lee, director of Center of Parenting Culture Studies at the University of Kent, so she runs the Center of Parenting Culture Studies. If that doesn't sound like some kind of odd regressive thing, I don't even know. She says that exclusion from women or exclusion of women from an ordinary activity on the basis of precaution was sexist. The thing is, though, you shouldn't have to warn women away from drinking. This should just be something they should realize that when they're pregnant and when they're breastfeeding, that transfers to the child. That is processed through their body, and then it's given to the child. There's a reason why women burn 500 calories a day when they're breastfeeding. It's because it's part of the birthing process, of the child rearing process. But this should be common sense. But the fact that it's being argued against, I can see it as nothing more than a political stance versus an actual like what's best for the mother area. But Dr. Lee, if that's even what you want to call her, goes on to say, public discourse has become very hostile, and there is now an assumption that a pregnant woman holding a glass of wine is doing something absolutely wrong. Women are being accosted, spoken to, and stared at in public. People assume that just because you had one drink, you had a bottle of vodka for breakfast. Well, the truth of the matter is this. We don't know if they had a bottle of vodka for breakfast. All we know is what we see in front of us. And first impressions are generally what we tend to go on. You can never make a second first impression. Hence the old saying that I know I paraphrased right there, but it's true. It's true. If you see a pregnant woman holding a cigarette and got a mimosa, you're like, how much else have you had to drink today? How far along are you? Is this a frequent occurrence? And what you doing to that baby girl? Damn. You see a lot of that because that's our first impression of it. And so, yes, women are going to be looked at and they're going to be judged for it, I think. And to an extent, rightfully so. I'm just going to say it, to an extent, rightfully so, because appearances are everything. And not to say they're irresponsible, but it is something that I think should absolutely be talked about, in the sense of, like, this isn't the patriarchy. This is a political point scoring system, and you're using fetuses as the ball. And I think that's wrong, because the child has absolutely no say in it. And I say the exact same thing when it comes to circumcision, right? I say the exact same thing. The child has no say. You don't know if the child wants that. You're doing it for you. You're not doing it for them. And I say the same damn thing when it comes to piercing a child's ears. That child has no say. But mommy wants an accessory. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I view that. The autonomy of the child is never given that consideration. It's what the parents want. It's like when parents go out and they purchase, like designer baby clothing for their toddler that they're going to grow out of in 2 months, but they spent their entire check on, and I've had family members that have done this, and they go, I just want them to look pretty. You want them on your arm like a toy dog. You want them on your arm like Paris Hilton did with Tinkerbell. You're not thinking long term. You're thinking what makes you look cute right now, or what benefits you. And that is selfish. But at least designer clothes aren't going to directly impact the physical well-being of the child growing up. And if I come across as like more right-wing in that one, that is one of my more conservative viewpoints, to be honest with you. But you guys might think differently, and that's okay. I want to know your guys' thoughts about this. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.